Hey everybody, it's Daniel with Hyperacusis Hope. Today I wanted to make a video about how I experience hyperacusis. The goal is, I've noticed that everybody has like a unique constellation of symptoms. There's definitely similarities, but everybody experiences hyperacusis differently. But there seems to be certain, shared symptoms, and a lot of times those people find that they have, similar ways of either coping or even, recovering a little bit. And so hopefully somebody can relate to my story. And my goal is to get other people on here who have different symptoms than I do. And hopefully other people will be able to relate to them, and people can share their story about how either they've managed to recover, if only to a certain extent, or how they cope with it, just their wisdom about how they go about their daily lives dealing with this very difficult condition. So my hyperacusis started when a train passed under a pedestrian bridge that I was walking over. I was just on the phone with my friend. All of a sudden, my voice was just too loud for me, and I figured I'd just sleep it off. I stayed on the phone for quite a while, and maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. There's a lot more that I don't understand about this condition than I do, but next day it still hurt. And within a few days, I think it was by day 4 was the first time I'd consider it pain. I was taking a shower and it was just so incredibly loud. I would say that I have pain hyperacusis. From my outer ear to the middle to the inner ear, I get this sense of inflammation. It's kind of just this, I don't know, it's just kind of this just like electric piercing sort of feeling. My ears get raw and full. I get reactive tinnitus. And the sensation I get like nerve twinges and muscle tightness in my jaw. I can go down my neck and to my shoulders. I can even get this electric sensation going down my limbs, down to my fingers and toes. And when I have the pain, I get this fight or flight response, and it's just hard to function. And it can take, anywhere from minutes to days to kind of go back to baseline. I had a second acoustic injury. I got hit by a semi truck. I don't remember because unfortunately I passed out behind the wheel due to a medical emergency. But yeah, basically, it got worse from there. And I started having to wear like a double protection when like riding in a car or even like going outside, indoors when dishes were being done or when a toilet was being flushed. I got to the point where I was housebound, and I was housebound for months basically. The only relief that I would find is if like I had to go to like an appointment or something, I'd wear the double protection. I'd take like an Uber, and for some reason, something about the vibrations and the sound was like soothing, but I couldn't reproduce that with anything else. I'm now in a quieter place, and I've gone from basically even talking being painful, other people's voices being painful, paper crinkling. I had to wear double protection to pull a tissue out of a tissue box, down to single protection, now to no protection. I think largely it has been the resting my ears that has led to this improvement. And then what I do, and I follow the advice of, hyperacusis veterans, and also Dr. James Henry, who has dedicated a lot of his time to this. Don't go to the point where you're uncomfortable. But I find the more I allow my ears to rest, the more I'm able to go out and like hike, for example, start going down into the kitchen to throw stuff away and stuff it into the trash bag without having to wear, like double protection like I did at first. And I'm feeling a little less stressed, which is helping. This is not a fear condition, but fear plays a role, and stress will only create like a vicious cycle. So, and I get reactive tinnitus that's over time developed. Even as I'm talking, I'm getting the ringing, it's getting a little louder. And there have been a few times where I've pushed it too far, and then I got a new tinnitus tone and it hasn't gone away. So you know, you really don't want to push it past to where you're uncomfortable. But at least for me, I have had some improvement even after that car crash, which was a very bad setback for me. These little incremental changes have been so encouraging. And I was housebound. I've had suicidal days. When I get a big setback, like from the haircut, it's really discouraging. But like my psychiatrist told me, and I was pissed at him for being so positive, but I really couldn't find any flaw in his logic. He was like, well, why do you only have a little hope? Hope is free. And I guess that's partially what kind of inspired this channel, you know? Like, perspective is important, and being realistic is important too. So, hope to get people to share their stories. If you feel free to drop something in the comments if you'd like to share your story. If you agree, disagree, with anything I've said, this is really just a discussion, and my hope is, at some point we can make a difference and get more awareness. So, peace out, everybody.